Hello, sports fans. Sorry I don't have a smile on my face today. I'm just trying to touch on a couple of major topics that I'll be getting into more in future videos. But first off, we've got Hurricane Helena that has hit North Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and other states that I'm not mentioning here. Please, if you could afford $1 or $2, please go to one of the local churches that have a website in those areas and donate. Don't donate to FEMA. Don't donate the Red Cross, because those are scams. What I wanted to touch on is FEMA is blocking aid to the hurricane states and the people there. They're blocking it. They're taking what people are bringing in for food and shelter and other things like that. They're taking that and blocking it and storing it away. The government is not your friend. FEMA is not there to help. I've seen numerous reports directly from helicopter pilots and others that have tried to go and save people, save babies. Some have been successful, but once they drop that baby off at the hospital, they're told, you do not ever go back up in this space. This is government space. You will not help out. And I've known this my whole life. But let me give you another example. I moved to a new campsite. Some very nice young girls there on the quad that have been going by. But I moved to a new campsite that is literally 100 yards from the paved road, and the forest road here is really good. I mean, even if I got 3 feet of snow tonight, I'd probably be able to make it out tomorrow. Now, my goal is, in the next day or two, I'm going to hook the bug up to the trailer and skedaddle. But where I'm at is the entrance to a giant forest area. So where I'm at, think of it as like a shopping center, shopping mall, parking lot without stripes. So I've got 6, 7, 8 people around me in vans and RVs and things like that. There's cows all around. And then if you continue past me on the road, it branches off to a Y, and you could go to forest area 1 or 2, and then there's a million more after that. Well, I had some, I'll call them side-by-sides. I don't want to say Razor, because Razor is a brand, but they were side-by-sides, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, some only 2 in the front, and this guy in a 3-wheel electric bicycle just went by and cracks me up. So they go by once. Oh wait, let's do it the right way. They go by that way. Then they go by that way. That's the young girls being very nice. Then they go back this way. And as he's coming back again, I decided to step out. And I said, hey, slow it down. You're going to kill somebody. And he hit his brakes hard, stopped on the dime. And he goes, if anybody's going to die, it's going to be you. Well, I turned so he could see my pistol on my hip. That's what I could see him look down, and he sped off. And I'm like, cool. I hope that was the end of it. Well, I heard his engine running not far away. And then after about 20 minutes or so, these 3 girls on a quad. I mean, they're being... it's dangerous to have 3 on a quad, but they are going pretty slow. But I wouldn't recommend 3 on a quad. But they are cute. I mean, the one that's driving's like 15, and they got another one that's like 6 years old smashed in, and another one that's like 10 years old behind them. But you know, I try not to judge too much, even though this whole video is about me judging. So I heard the quad running for 15, 20 minutes, and then I heard multiple quads ignite. And we're talking, again, this was the middle of the night, well, not the middle of the night, but it was about 9, 10 o'clock at night. They raced right by me. You could just tell each one was like putting up dirt right around me, and they all stopped. And they're like, yeah, what do you effing think now, grandpa or old man or whatever they said? And then they sped off about 50 yards away, which was interesting because they pretty much all 4 or 5 of them parked right near another RV here that's been here a while. And so I'm thinking 2 things, or 3 things. Well, it's a coincidence. They just all stopped to regroup and talk. 2, that's a friend of theirs that they said, hey, here's what we did to the RV guy over here, and we're going to get him, right? Or that guy over here said, hey, what are you guys doing? Slow down. And all 4 or 5 of them slowed down. I don't know. But I called the police because they had threatened me. A sheriff deputy shows up. He's driving aimlessly around. He can't find shit, which is understandable because I said, hey, I'm in this area in a white Class C RV with a VW Bug. And so, you know, he's wondering where I'm at. Another RV coming in. And I went and flagged him down. There's a Razor going by like 5 miles an hour. Very nice. Anyway, so the sheriff deputy shows up. I flag him down and I say, hey, you know, no big deal. These guys went through. I was worried when there were 4 of them. But to be honest, I'm not personally afraid because I'm going to lock up all my doors, get my cat in. And unless they start shooting at me, I think I'll be fine. First thing he says is, "You've been drinking." I'm like, yeah, it is Friday, and I do drink once a week. and I've had about 4 beers. And he goes, well, blah, blah. And he just, his tone was just like, I mean, I used to be a cop. 6th largest city in the nation in San Diego. Tell me I haven't dealt with shit. Not to demean this guy, but Podunk, Flagstaff, Coconino County, versus San Diego County, 6th or 7th largest city in the nation. I think I've seen and dealt with a little bit more shit than this guy. So he starts demeaning me, and I said, you know what? I've given you the report of the guys that were go around here and threaten me. I'm going to go inside. I will not come out, and I'll do what I have to do if they start attacking me. But I thought I'd give you the info, deputy, since they're probably about a quarter mile down that road, and maybe you could go talk to them. And he's like, well, no, I'm talking to you. And so basically I said, F you. I went inside my RV. I'm like, I'm done. The deputy is not helping at all, and I'm going to call it a night. So then he starts calling out and pointing out in the dirt forest road that there's glass bottles or glass or pieces of metal or something in the road. And he goes, Ralph, you need to come out and fix this, because you put this out here and that's illegal. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And I got my flashlight out and I looked, and I could see there were a couple of bottles of probably whiskey and 2 pieces of metal from right here next to me. Now granted, there's 10 other RVers here around me that are pissed that these idiots are driving by so fast. So 1 or 2 or 3 of them, or who knows, probably did it. And he goes, Ralph, come out here and clean this up. And I'm like, you're out of your mind. I didn't do anything. I'm staying in my RV, and the way you're talking to me makes me fearful that if I come out there, you're going to do something bad to me. Then he kicks one of the bottles in the road into the ditch. And I'm like, okay, well, you had 3 bottles in the ditch or in the road, and now you kicked one. So I don't think it's that big of a hazard. And the other 2 pieces were actually have been here for years. There's a hole that I'm next to where I'm parked to that they've put up several pieces of I don't want to call it rebar. It's more like fence stake with orange tape around it. And apparently somebody put 2 of those stakes in the road with 1 piece of the orange mesh. And he was like, Ralph, come remove this. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I go, those are 2 4-foot tall brackets that don't weigh more than a pound. And why don't you kick it over? So literally he touches it and they fall apart. And then he threatens me and says, I'm going to do a report for an arrest for you because you blockaded this freeway or roadway. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm calling 911 because there were crazy drivers in quads or razors or whatever you want to call them, side by sides, that then threatened my life. And when I called 911, the sheriff shows up and says they're going to arrest me and that I'm responsible for whatever garbage or blockade is in the road. And I told them, I said, there's 10 other RVs around here. They were pissed at these guys too. And he said, I'm going to go talk to them. And if I find out evidence to the contrary, I will have to put a warrant for your arrest. Well, I went and watched him go about 100 yards away to another RV person. Didn't talk to the other 6 or 7, just to the one guy, and came back and said, he said you did it, so I'm putting an arrest warrant for you. First off, that guy's 100 yards away. I've never talked to him. And here's my thing. Have him come out and identify me as supposedly the guy in the road that did this shit. I guarantee if you put me with 10 other people, he's going to be like, oh, I don't know which one of those guys did it. No kidding. Because the dumb sheriff deputy went to one party, and that one party was like, yeah, there was a guy doing something in the road. Well, and again, I'll fully admit, I was in the road with my headlamp on as these guys were going zoom, 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 zoom. Now, after they went through, other people came through and did whatever they did. Throw a bottle here, throw a bottle there. I mean, literally a glass bottle of whiskey. And I told the deputy, I go, that's a glass bottle of whiskey. That's not like a life-threatening danger trap. And he's like, how do you know it's whiskey? I'm like, holy crap. How do you know that the hole in your ear is where your ear is? He kicked that over into a little ditch by my RV. Anyway, this is so ridiculous, so stupid on the cops' behalf, and I can't even believe it.